you need to have better communication skills with you and yourself. You need to know how to talk to yourself along with being able to talk to other people, which is actually also very much so proven to help people overcome their fear of public speaking, and then even overcoming the fear of hearing their own voice, regardless if it's pre-recorded or if it is live. Some of the key pointers I would say, if you're just getting started, you have your mic on, but you are unsure of what to talk about. Well, pretty much anything. Say you're playing a video game. Talk about the game. If you don't know what to talk about in general, you talk about the game, you talk about what's going on, you talk about the different strategies, talk about the graphics, literally anything you can think about the game. Even if you don't know anything, as you play the game and you progress, talk about the storyline. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Does it run well? How does it compare to other games you may have played? There's always something to talk about. It's okay if you don't have thought after thought after thought. It is okay to pace yourself. Your very first live stream, your very first YouTube video, or really any social media content video is gonna be cringy. It's gonna be awkward. My very first one ever was pretty bad. From posting up my very first video, I'm 13, and the amount that I have learned over time to make things more professional, to teach myself how to actually speak and how to actually act in front of a webcam and basically pretend I'm talking to a group of people, has taken that long. It is not easy. So this didn't just come in a blink of an eye. This took a very long time, many years. Some people have it easier. Some people can just go in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, and talk for days. It does get easier over time. Like everyone says, practice makes perfect. And it's something, if you really are passionate about doing, you are just going to have to work on it every single day. I understand the fear of public speaking and being in front of a live audience. Doing that in person and doing that online, it did help me get out of my comfort zone, did get me out of that awkward shell. Working in the entertainment industry for many years did allow me to kind of broaden that area as well, into being able to just completely get out of my comfort zone and just go up to random people and start talking to them. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, which public speaking online is a little bit easier for people in a sense, because you don't actually have to physically see, a ton of faces staring at you. The other issue, however, is online, you're still going down the same path because you are going to be talking to an audience, but now the issue is, here's the difference between like live and online. If you're live, people show up. Yeah, there's still that possibility of people are just standing up and like walking away, but odds are people won't do that out of respect normally for the person talking, right? That is a little bit easier, so people will be more willing to stay typically, but the problem is for the person actually speaking to the crowd, yeah, you're gonna have that nervousness kicking in. You have the basic symptoms like dry throat, you'll have those little coughs and everything like that as well, and you're just gonna be very nervous, and I understand that. The online world, it is going to be a little tricky in a sense, because now you're reducing that anxiety and fear of not having to see all those people and feel intimidated by it. But now the issue is, how do you entertain the people to stay? Because online, people are more willingly to just leave if they dislike something, because they can't be seen. It's a little bit more difficult as well. More people focus on the analytics and more on the statistics and the numbers overall online, which then if they see fluctuate, it can also be a little intimidating for a lot of people. Personally, for me, that's why I always hide the viewers, so I never have to see that, because random anxiety does happen, so I never turn those on. But online is definitely a lot more difficult because people come and go, people get sidetracked very easily. Being online, we're doing a million things. We're on social media, we're talking to friends, we're working, we're maybe on an online class for school. Maybe we get interrupted with like a phone call or something and you step away from here. A lot of alternatives, right? But then, in real life, you have your voice, you don't need to worry about audio quality, really. When you're online, you have to set up everything yourself, which is a little bit more difficult. So you're gonna have to set up your audio, you're gonna have to make sure it sounds as professional as possible. If you're using video, you gotta make that all look crystal clear. In person, you don't have to do that. Online, there's almost just as much work online as there is if you were doing it in person public speaking. So take that into consideration. There is just as much work and fear and anxiety doing either or. I know a lot of people think, typically, and I've been hearing this a lot of people think, oh, it's so easy to go online and to just do whatever. But making it entertaining, regardless if you're online or clicking that start button mentally in your head when you're live and public speaking. A lot of the talks I do are more quote unquote improv. I do have notes set aside for me to help me keep on topic. I know my ADD will get the best of me sometimes, depending on the day. That's why I do my best to try to keep a little bit more organized. However, I do like to keep the improv feel because I don't like setting just very strict notes in front of me, because I feel like that loses, personally for me, more of the freedom of what I'm gonna say. It feels too strict. It feels too, it just feels too planned out. For here, I like the feeling of, yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of like that tiny little bit of like empty space, because it allows more time for viewers and listeners to feel free to actually get their voices heard as well, especially online, so they can type something, ask questions. So it kind of gives those nice little breaks in between. So, this personally just works for me. It's not going to work for everybody. But public speaking overall, you should learn how to talk to yourself first. Be comfortable with your own voice. But I do encourage and inspire more people to use their voice more freely. Don't be ashamed and don't be afraid to use your voice, and use your voice wisely. My first time doing this, I hated my voice as well. I thought it was very cringy. I didn't know what to talk about. It is also a lot easier to talk to people when you have a good friend watching you. That's why, when I was still on Twitch, it was a lot easier for me to do content and to actually do improv comedy work when I had King Orangey working with me, because he's a very close friend of mine I've known for years already. And, we've hung out at shows and stuff, and we've gone to shows and everything together. And, we just work well together. We know how to make each other laugh and everything. So having a good friend with you, or at least having like a family member like watch you, like cheer you on and stuff, like the smallest things, like it truly helps out. So any little thing you can think of that may be able to boost your self-esteem or confidence, use it. It's not easy to do at all. There's a lot of fear, and I feel like unfortunately that's why a lot of people want to live stream. They want to create content online for anybody, but the issue is there's a lot of fear mongering going on, and where people are being either bullied, they're being pressured in some weird way. It's more anxiety inducing overall, and there's more pressure on the individual to, one, have higher numbers, two, how entertaining are you? You always have the anxiety, are people think I'm good enough? Do people like my content? What if people don't like my content? What if people don't like me? What if I don't get affiliated? What if I don't get partnered? There's all these what ifs and why questions, but the people don't ask themselves, what can I do to not only improve my content, but myself? How can I help myself, be more engaging with others and be more engaging with yourself? I'm a firm believer that you have to really be comfortable with your voice first, be comfortable with yourself, understand who you are, and understand what you want to do as a content creator. Because if you can conquer the fear of public speaking, you will be set. It won't even matter what you play online anymore. If all you do is play games and you just can't figure out how to separate yourself from the millions of other people who are doing the exact same thing as you, speaking and knowing how to speak correctly can help you so much more to stand out from everybody else, because then it's more centralized on you, make that happen. Make it about you as a content creator, not about the game or the games that you play. If you do want to know, however, more on different key points on public speaking, let me know. But until then, see you guys.